can take that ride with you. It's one hell of a ride. It's one hell of a ride.
What's poppin', collective? It's your boy Uncle Moon, and you're watching The Dark Side of the Moon, where we talk about the esoteric, magic, and the spiritual realm. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about justice being served. And I put a little angel number in there too. It's 555. I don't know, it's just a little channel message. Take that as it resonates. So what do I mean by justice is served? So karma comes in a kind of cyclical nature, in a sense, where, you know, there's 6 months into a year and there's 6 months out of a year. So there's a karmic balance for each part of the year. And there's also karmic balance within the day, you know, within the hour, within minutes. So everything kind of moves in a cyclical, I think that's the terminology I'm trying to use. Essentially, after the last 2 years, a lot of karmic resonance is starting to, you know, collide, and everything that you've done, everything that you've put out into the world is starting to now make its way out and surface into, you know, into your reality. So before we get started into the reading and the collective storytelling here, I would like to cleanse the energy. So it's very important to smudge. I try to smudge on a daily. A lot of energies come in and out. They really tamper with the way that we move on a day-to-day basis. So I always just make it my mission to wake up and cleanse energy and push out old stagnant energy so that a new energy can make its way in. That's how you make money, baby. But nonetheless, we're gonna go ahead and take 3 deep breaths in and out. As soon as I hit it, I'm gonna start from 3, and you're just gonna breathe in, and then you're gonna release. So, breathe in. Now breathe out. 3, 2, 1. And then breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. So with that being said, your energies will feel a lot more cleansed. You should have a lot of clarity, and the message should reign true and clear. Smudging the area as well, so the message is not tampered with, and so you can hear me loud and clear. This message isn't going to be as long as my normal videos, just because I'm shooting late, I had a long day, and I just want to make sure I get the message out clearly without being tired and all that. So yeah, just a little updates. I'm working on a website at the moment. I really haven't started it, but I've curated the idea and I know what I want on it, so that's all that matters. It doesn't take much to really activate once you've got the idea. But I want to kind of piece together and have everything in one area. That way it's not so hard to know what I do and everything that's included. Just insight for anyone who doesn't really know me like that. My name again is Uncle Moon. I am an artist, producer, engineer, model, photographer, graphic designer, philanthropist, skateboarder, and painter. I draw, and there are a number of other things that I want to do and get into, but just trying to take it one step at a time, day to day. And yeah, I'm gonna have that all on the webpage. It's gonna kind of tie in real nice and smooth. I'm gonna have it like an interactive page, kind of like similar to like MySpace in a sense. But yeah, nonetheless, I'm gonna get it started with like I always do. I want to start off with one card first, but since I want to speed things up, I'm gonna do just 4 cards from the Monday Tarot deck, and then I'm gonna do a card from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. So, in this time period, like I said, a lot of things are coming into fruition. A lot of things are rebalancing themselves out, and you're gonna get the fruits of your labor if you've been working hard, and you're gonna get the fruits of your destruction if you've been out there, you know, destroying things and hurting people and blase blase. You know the gist. You get what you deserve, always, continuously. But for the major collective, like, not, I can't say major collective because that just makes it seem like we're not all together. I will say that for my people, I speak for my people, African American people, we're gonna get a lot of the justice that we deserve in this next phase of the rest of the year, really. And it's gonna be really abundant time for us. But with that being said, there's going to be a lot of things trying to stop that abundance from flowing. It's recession time, but it's really, the recession is here, but it's also a renaissance at the same time. You know, a time period like this always has to come where great destruction comes so that something new can be rebuilt, and we can look at what we built so far and be like, I don't know if we should keep doing this because it's not sustainable. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help us grow. It doesn't help us move, and it's not healthy, and it's not keeping us in the right frame of mind, you know. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and pull 4 cards for you. My charger in the way and everything. All right, so we have the Hierophant in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the Princess of Wands in reverse, and the 8 of Swords upright. I have been pulling the Hierophant out for like the last couple of readings I've done for like myself and people, and honestly the video prior to this. So like, there's a lot of Hierophant energy out there right now. This is the Hierophant, this is what it looks like. Upright. Oh yeah. But remember, it's in reverse. Not necessarily a bad thing. It just means a different message. You know, as above, so below. Not always a bad thing. It's just how you look at it. Okay, so the sign that's ruled by the Hierophant is Taurus. The keywords here are rebel, maverick, and confinement. Let that rebellion roar. You are breaking free from the norm and challenging the status quo. After feeling confined by all the rules that have been placed upon you, you are choosing to go your own way, whether the people around you like it or not. This is a time when you are questioning society's rules and regulations, with the realization that all is not what it seems. Just because you were told how certain things were done a certain way, does not mean there are no other ways to do it. The Hierophant reverse can also represent an authority figure in your life who has a very controlling way of asserting themselves. Be wary of this person, as they may force you to conform to rules you want to break, seeing your need of freedom as a threat. Choose your battles wisely. So, I want to expound upon that because there was a lot of key factors here. It started off with the shit. It said, let the rebellion roar. So as the recession and everything is shifting and stuff, there's gonna be a rebellious attitude to the world. Because, you know, as we grow and evolve as humanity, a lot of things are getting pulled from under the mat. And, you know, a lot of people are like, hold up, wait a minute. If this thing rang true, what about all the other things that was told about the opposite? And I've been saying this for a minute, like, once people really see the full truth of everything, people are gonna be fucking pissed off. I know I was when I started my journey, and I really just saw like how the world was like really on some bullshit. And like the Matrix is just on some bullshit. It's just, and it's gonna collapse on itself. And because it's just like if somebody tells a lie over and over and over again, they're gonna be struggling to keep up with that lie. And that lie is gonna have some questionable things, and what's hidden in the dark is gonna come to light. And so when people find that out, of course people are going to want to rebel. Of course people are going to want to change things, and we're going to want to break from the norm and challenge the status quo. And the status quo says we should behave this way, we should look this way, we should think this way, we should be this way. But like I said before, none of these ways are really helping us move forward in the most productive ways possible. It's hurting our planet, it's hurting ourselves, it's hurting our mind. That's why a lot of us are walking around with mental health issues and no one to really help, because it's just a whole cycle. People want to keep people stuck. They don't really care about people being able to get out of the shit that they put them in, because it's all about money at the end of the day. And even then, that financial aspect is really about to change as well. Like the gap between the rich and the poor is gonna shift and change. But I also feel like there's coming a time where the financial sequence isn't gonna be on a form of currency, like the dollar bill. The dollar bill is gonna be a thing in the past, and that's already happening. Digital currency is already here, and it's going to take over. Just like social media came and people were on Instagram when Instagram first came out. People were like, "Oh yeah, there's nothing. It's not gonna do nothing." And then Instagram ruled the world. And I mean, even in a sense, that's coming to an end too. Like, we're moving to Internet 2.0 to Internet 3.0. Internet 2.0 is like, there are like 4 things that rule the internet. And it's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and like the other applications that come with it that surround those things. But Internet 3.0 is like where everybody is kind of stepping into, like the movie I'll be talking about, Ready Player One. Everyone is stepping into their character. So everyone's going to have a piece of the internet, and they're going to have their own domain, just like their own world, and they're going to be able to control what happens in that domain, because people are realizing that I don't have to be a fucking copycat. I don't have to be the same thing that everybody else is being, like with Instagram Reels and TikToks. Like, you just go do that shit, just look through that shit. Everybody's doing the same shit. And like, there are a few content creators who are creating this shit, and they're the ones storming the world. Like, there's always gonna be leaders, obviously, but now there's gonna be a point in time where it's just like everybody is recognizing that they hold that power within. Like, we all hold that power within. We just got to awaken to it and change how we move and be more uplifting to ourselves and see that we are powerful without someone telling us that we gotta do something or be some way. But yeah, there's one more thing. Oh yeah, the authority figure in your life who has a very controlling way of asserting themselves. Be wary of this person, as they may force you to conform to rules you want to break. Seeing your need of freedom as a threat, choose your battles wisely. So, something I channeled in the message I got from that was like Biden. It had Biden written all over it. It's like, Biden came into office, he did some of the things he said he was gonna do. It's just really just the same story. Every president is literally, they come and they say, we're gonna do this, this, and that, and they do the opposite. They have some hidden motive. It recently came out that HWO, which is like the World Health Organization, it basically ties in all of the continents, and they kind of come together and they make decisions under one rule. So essentially what's happening is that they basically signed over the fact that they can do whatever the fuck they want to do when it comes to our health. So say that another disease rolls in and that, they have to keep everybody inside the house once again. They have say-so. They have power and able to do in whatever they want to do. And he basically just did that and didn't tell anybody about it until a couple days before. But it was in plan since January. So it's just like, our leaders, they're following a pathway that we've all seen before. just how like Atlantis crashed before and how Egypt was brought down before, how the leaders were doing fucked up shit and all the plagues started coming out, and like all they had to do was switch what they were doing, but they decided not to do that, and they decided that they still wanted to be deceitful to the people and deceitful to themselves. Really, they were even sacrificing their own kids, like they were doing that shit. And so that same kind of energy is happening now, and it's being masqueraded as something else, and everybody's just sitting there believing it. But as you can see with all these shootings and all this shit that's going on, all this shit is planned. I don't care what you say. You cannot sit here and tell me that all these shootings happening all at once is just some normal thing that's supposed to happen. Like, fuck no, fuck out of here. Let's get this shit out of here, dog. All that fake ass, what do you call that? Conspiracy theorists. That shit's some bullshit, and they know it. Y'all know that's some bullshit. Y'all have a divine consciousness inside of yourselves that know the knowledge that y'all know. Y'all have the divine knowledge being spewed into you for telling you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and y'all should listen because it's telling y'all something ain't right. So pay attention. Don't believe everything that is being told to you. You know, even with me, you know, do your own knowledge and your own research, your own internal research, you know. See it for yourself. You don't have to listen to me. Just see it for yourself. But this next card we have here is the Queen of Pentacles. It's in reverse. She's like holding energy within her, you know, and she's channeling that. That's the time period we're in. You know, justice is being served. Most of the justice that's being served is justice that you give yourself. Most of the internal shit, the accountability, you know, waking up and being like, okay, I'm gonna be a different person. I'm gonna do different things. You know, that justice is being served. You're getting all the things that the energy that you gave out, you know, is being returned. So with that being said, Queen of Pentacles is all about money, abundance. The key words here are workaholic, smothering, and isolation. All work and no play. You may be immersed completely in your career right now, working hard to provide for your family, which ironically is also taking quality time away from your loved ones. You are experiencing overwhelm, struggling to juggle your career and home life, and are feeling inadequate in the process. Return to a place to rejuvenate your juices and ground yourself to your center. Balance is key for sustainability for both your health and your sanity. If you are questioning your ability to be financially dependent, trust your gut instincts. You don't have to work yourself down to the bone in order to achieve that goal for yourself and your family. Take a step back and see where you can spend less time in control. Work smarter, not harder. So, with that being said, like we all fall into that sometimes, you know, especially during this time period when inflation is happening and like it's almost like seeing like you have to work a little bit harder to even survive right now. And I get it, you know, you're trying to build your world, you're trying to make sure you set the financial basis up for your business, if you have a business, or you're just trying to survive, you know, it makes sense. But it also means don't stray far away from the fact that as a collective, we need to work as a unit and stop trying to adhere to this, oh, I can do it by myself thing all the time, you know. The world pushes that all the time. It's like, yeah, do it by yourself. I don't need no man. I don't need no woman. Type shit. But we really just need to come together and understand that if we were to work together, you would see that things move smoother. You have that weight lifted off of your shoulders, and you get to spend time with your loved ones, the ones that you care about, because that's the most important part of life. Not just making money, because all that shit gonna be gone when you die. Like, none of that shit matters. But when you're lying on your deathbed and you know you're about to pass away, you're not gonna think about the money that you spent. You're gonna be thinking about all the things that you didn't do, like people you didn't spend time with, the energy that you didn't participate in when you know that you should have went out, instead of just sitting there and just being focused on, okay, this and that. You know, you never know how much you're missing out. Forget FOMO. Don't think about FOMO. This is different. you never know how much information you're missing out when you decide that you don't want to go to that event or that party because you want to sit there and you want to focus in on your career. It's understandable to build a balance, you know. It's understandable to want to work and for your career and do all that. That's good. That's important. But I'm speaking for myself here. I've gone out to events and stuff and supported my friends, and in those same nights, I got answers to questions that I've been holding on for months. Just because I decided to go out one night instead of decide to stay in. You know, a lot of people have given information to me and passed on the fact that, like, I need a team, you know, and I've been looking for people to help me build this world that I'm building. And I step out one night after not stepping out for weeks and months, and like I meet everybody in the same night. And I'm just like, yo, this is wild. Like, I'm still building the team and stuff, whatnot, but it was the majority of people that I really needed in that instance. So I say that to say, don't create that balance of work and play, because both are needed. You know, that balance, just like you work and don't work. You know, because and sometimes you just need to sit there and attract and be what you want to attract in your life. You know. So moving forward, we have the Princess of Wands. This is like moving into queenly energy, moving into, you know, that next phase and being prepped for something. Remember that tarot is fluid, so like the gender roles, they don't matter. You can be the Princess of Wands, and you take that as the feminine energy of Wands, you know, working your magic, and the feminine energy just sitting there and attracting it. So that being said, the keywords here are deflation, freedom to fail, learning experience. So things have not been going according to plan lately. Grand ideas that used to inspire you have fallen flat after attempts to bring them to life. It's a bummer, but don't let that stop you from trying new things. You're new to the game, so cut yourself some slack. It's easy to get stuck in perfectionism, which can paralyze you before you even started. Luckily, the damage was minimal, so you were able to recover quickly. Throwing ideas against the wall and seeing what sticks is a total process, giving you room to experiment. This is a learning experience so that you can take with you into the future so that you don't make the same mistakes again. Failure is a detour, not a dead-end street, said Zig Ziglar. Allow yourself the freedom to fail and to get back up. So like I said before, like this is the energy of you being prepped, you know. It's you're stepping into a new paradigm of your life, you're stepping into a new career, you're stepping into a new business format, you're stepping into just a newness of yourself. So you have to give yourself time to acclimate to being in that new arena of life. I was just watching a tarot video like a couple minutes ago, and she was basically saying like the same thing. Like, you're like becoming the page again in so many facets of your life, because you know you're stepping into a new world. Like, you're going from being in a senior in high school to college. So like you're jumping into a whole different world, and so there are people in college who are like at the top right now, and like they're teaching you shit, and they're there for you to learn. But they're also like moving on to the next degree, and that's graduating, coming to a new, and they're becoming, you know, pages all over again. You know, it's a cycle. It never ends. It's just like that continuance of growth. But we're reaching the summer solstice soon, so a lot of that is coming into play now. A lot of people are evolving. So all the work and all the strife and all the things that you had to go to in the last couple of months are like here in the physical now. Like they're here for you to be tangible and to participate in them. And it's okay if you don't make the best decisions right now, but keep trying is essentially what's being said right now, because you're going to eventually get there, and you're going to eventually understand how to maneuver through this new world. You just have to give yourself time and not be so pressuring on yourself, because you are your biggest enemy. Everyone's their biggest enemy, you know? It's not so much like that people can have a lot of, like outside energy can have a lot of control on you, but it would be about you and how much you allow them to control you and how much you allow it to control you. Now, in some ways, like, it'd be the outside forces would be too controlling. Like, if somebody punches you, that extreme force is external and it's going to affect you. It is what it is, you know? But it's just get back up, because you'll be hurt for that minute, but you can get back up and you'll recover. So it's that time to just keep going, because you're right there. You're graduating. You're moving forward. And it's time to go ahead and take that chance, take that risk, and do what you know you're supposed to be doing. So last but not least, in the Monday Tarot, we got the Eight of Swords and upright. Yeah, she commanding all her swords now. She moved from the Princess of Wands, sticking things into the wall, trying to figure it out. So now she has all her swords, and she's like, all right, I know what to do with these, and I'm going to use these in the right way. And it's 8, so it's about abundance, you know. So it's accessing that abundance in whatever way that may look like for you. So the keywords here are limitation, confinement, and restriction. Completely tunnel visioned, and you are unable to see different perspectives with multiple blind spots. Trapped in your own mind, you think there is no way out and can't seem to devise an escape plan. However, take a look around and notice that the chains around your arms have been loose this entire time. This is a self-inflicted prison, and you have all the tools necessary to break out. Opportunities are aplenty, if you choose to see them. Basically, you have choices. Limited thinking leads to even narrower pathways in your own prison of limitation. Needing permission from someone else other than yourself is giving away your power. Take back what is yours. The only permission you need is from yourself. Change your perspective to open up and allow the infinite possibilities to flow in. So I'm gonna expound upon that last part that was said. Change your perspective to open up and allow the infinite possibilities to flow in. So the 8 of Swords, the 8 is basically an infinite sign if you turn to the side. So you're changing your perspective to open up and allow the infinite possibilities to flow in. And in the beginning it says that you feel trapped, and you look down and see that the chains that you feel trapped in were loose the whole time. And all you had to really do is let the chains fall off your arms, you know, and access all those swords that you have, all these abilities that you got, all these talents that you got, and allow it to take you forward and allow the possibilities to flow through you. You simply have to open yourself up to that perspective, especially in today's time, like right now, and it's a perfect time to do so. You know, look at yourself and see the lies that you've been telling yourself, the ways that you've been confining yourself and keeping yourself from being that great version of you that you know that you want to be, and know that you are deep down at your core. So I'm gonna tie this back into the fact of not the fact, but what we're talking about here again, which is justice is served. So again, you're accessing the justice that you served yourself through the hard work, through you staying an honest person, through you being a loving person, through you passing on the mantle on to someone else who needed it, through you taking the lessons that you learned and giving that knowledge and wisdom on to other people so that they may thrive in areas that you were unable to thrive, you know, and getting that knowledge back, giving that knowledge back out that was given to you through spirit or through whatever form of formation that you believe in, you know. So yeah, justice is served, 555. With that being said, I'm gonna pull one more card just because it's on 555. We have, ironically, the Four Pinnacles, which is I pulled 4 cards originally, so now this is a 5, which is representing the container that's holding the 4. Remember, Pentacles is all about money. And 4, I would have to say, don't know too much about Four, but I like to relate it to business. Because you have to remember that every number has, a deeper meaning, just like colors have a deeper meaning. Everything is built the way it's built for a specific purpose. So that being said, control, stability, and conservative are your keywords here. Lock and key. You've got your finances stashed away with double security. You are in complete control of what goes in and what goes out, dutifully standing guard at the door. Saving is a habit that you've mastered, and you've racked up enough in the bank to be financially stable and independent. You are in complete control and conservative about how you spend your money, valuing your possessions. Kudos to the discipline it took to get your finances in order. However, watch out for penny pinching to the point where you don't allow yourself to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Equating financial security with self-worth creates a dependency on stacking up the cash, no matter what the cost. Remember, you are inherently worthy no matter what your bank account says. So, for the people out there that are thinking, I have not been saving, I've been spending. Remember that tarot is fluid, so it's not always what's being said. And there's also the fact that the message is not always for you. Some of the messages are for other people, but it's all tied into the collective reading. Take what you need. Spirit will let you know what you need. You will let you know what you need, because you know yourself better than anybody else in this world. So with that being said, take the financial aspect and take it as your internal energies. So you've been collecting internal energies, whether that be trauma, whether that be your hate for somebody, whether that be your love for yourself, whether that be your talents, your abilities. You've been gathering and gathering, and now is the time to kind of let go and just let go and just be. And once you let go, like the card before, you notice that the shackles, the heavy weights, you can just let them go. And once you do that, that's when your abundance is just like, all right, he let go, he made room, she made room. Now it's time for everything else. And you're gonna get a stack of whole new things and things to sort through. And that being said, that's if it's about finances for you, saving is important. Do not get me wrong, but money is also meant to be spent. So that money is supposed to be looked at as an investment. When you look at money as an investment versus, oh, I'm losing money every time I go spend on something, you look at it as an investment, you're able to make more money off of that investment, because your mind is not thinking, oh, I'm spending, I'm wasting money. Your mind is thinking, oh, I'm investing into myself. I'm buying coffee for myself. I'm investing into myself. This coffee is going to keep me up. This coffee is going to help me bring in more funds. It's going to help me be up and awake and do what I need to do. Or whatever you're spending your money on, It's basically just saying, have a balance, of course, of spending and saving. Simple as that. I'm not going to hold that one too long, because nothing you can really hold on to, really. That being said, I want to pull a card from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. It seems like I'm moving pretty quickly here. Again, I had a long day, but I wanted to make sure I get these readings out to y'all because it is important to me. I care about the collective. I care about being able to help other people. And be able to spread that love, because we all need a little love. We all need a little help sometimes. And shit, I'm learning too, I'm, like I always say, Spirit said, take all them cards. Read all them shits. Isso não tá vendo. pull a second one, we're gonna have like a duality theme here. Duality theme. The card that came out was Coral. It's in Pisces, and the number is 4. Ironically, that being like the last card we pulled from the Monday Tarot. And this second card is also in Pisces. It's also number 4. I swear to God, if I put one more card as a 4, I'm pulling it out. Okay, no, it's not. Alright. Again, I view 4 as like a business number. The second card is birth. These are the 2 cards. Alright, and as you saw it, so Quarrel is a number 4. Alright. Oh my God, I need to learn my signs better. I apologize, y'all. It's in Cancer. Yo, that's so hilarious. Someone probably looked at the card and was like, this fool, he's talking about Pisces. That says Cancer on it. Anywho, Mars in Cancer with the Coral card. Mars is action. Cancer is nurturing and attachment. 2 mounted figures squabble over a gold ring symbolizing betrothal. I don't know how to pronounce that. I also don't know what that means, but I've heard it before. If you know what it means, you can put it in the comment section. Yeah, this image concerns families united or divided over relationships or inheritances. The classical busts glare at each other, reminders that this has happened before. This is hilarious. It's like almost synonymous to what I was saying earlier about like we go into these periods of time where like time repeats itself, and like we have to break down systems, and there's like a quarrel, and it's like nations are divided, people are divided over inheritances and relationships. The glare reminds that there are two things looking back at each other, in a sense to say like I've done this before, this has been done before, and it's like you're holding on to anger. This is for somebody out there. I've been picking up a lot of anger, frustration. Yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna keep this going. Personal. Mars Cancerians most enjoy expending energy in being active around the home or in a family type business. However, the bossy nature of Mars cannot resist the temptation to take over and run things. In a family situation, this often leads to interminable and highly emotional disputes and arguments. The gentle sign of Cancer is not the most comfortable place to define pushy, aggressive Mars, and this card can indicate domestic upheaval. Mars acts immediately, and in the close atmosphere of home life, this causes much combative arguments. Family matters will be stormy if Mars Cancerians try to get everyone to do things their way. The tricky situation to negotiate is that the Mars/Cancer person wants to be the boss, but also wants to be loved. It is best that people with this planet-sized sign type avoid bottling up emotions, as worries cause stomach upsets. Property can be important to people this card describes, perhaps meaning more to them than just a place of their own. Home improvements are a constant demand on Mars Cancerians, and running some kind of business of their own, however modest, can offer a better outlet for Martian energy than quarreling. Mars Cancerians have a natural talent for property development and can be lucky with real estate deals given the slightest opportunity.
When this card is selected, it usually shows that all is not well in the family nest. Events: a continuing family role, a family arrangement, fighting over an inheritance, a divorce, or a problem involving custody. So yeah, take that as you please. There are a lot of messages in there for other people, but I'm keeping it surrounded around the message here, which is justice is served. Clearly justice is being served through just the action of like the fight. Like there's two sides coming and they're like, yo, you doing something, I don't like it, I don't appreciate it. And other side's like, well, I don't appreciate what you're doing either. And so it's just like a clash between the two. But inherently it has to happen, just like the recession has to happen for the new thing to be birthed out of that. It also says something that really stuck out to me. It was saying a better outlet for Martian energy would be handling and running the business of their own. So essentially what I took from that is that the focus should be more so on building versus fighting and tearing things down. Because you're fighting and tearing things down, your focus isn't on building. You're not on building. You're just on quarreling and fighting. And when you can work together and make shit happen together and build things together, and it's important, especially when there's like inheritance involved. Like inheritance can be split two ways if you really think about it, and then y'all can work together. Why fight? Two brains are better than one. And ironically, the next card is birth. You know what happens when two sides come together? Things birth. So I'm going to read that card. So Venus and Cancer. Venus is love. Cancer is nurturing and attachment. Make sure y'all can see it. The angel of birth above a newborn baby. The rocky cavern suggests the hard protective shell of Cancer. Above, the sun and moon safeguard the birth. The two sigils represent the seal of Venus and the spirit of Venus. Sigils are the things on the left and right of the angel, the little symbols. Those are sigils. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. The Venus/Cancer combination describes someone with deeply sensitive romantic feelings. People with this planet/sign aspect need stability and security in relationships, and demonstrate shows of affection are essential to their well-being. They care for the loved ones and things around them and expect to be equally cherished in return. With Venus in this sign, the inevitable result of a perfect liaison would be set up home and produce a family. The desire to feed, protect, and nurture a family home of children is foremost with this card. The home will be comfortably cluttered, as possessions are kept and cared for in the same way as family. Venus/Cancer personality types are good entertainers in their own home, and having friends to visit is an important part of their home life. They spend time and care on making their environment look and feel aesthetically comfortable. Sounds like me, dog. By the way, my moon is in Cancer, so irony. The same goes for the garden. And the Venus/Cancer combination is an indication of quite good taste in matters of interior and exterior style. The negative side of this combination is that the person described can become overpoweringly smothering and possessive. When this card is drawn in a reading, it may indicate a birth or other addiction to the family. It can also show, addition to the family, not addiction. Wait, what? It can also show a need to make contact with one's mother or more general family roots in order to discover the answer to the question asked. Events: the birth of a child, an adoption or increase in the family, celebration of an anniversary, a reunion with childhood friends. So essentially, this goes back to, you know, connecting with the family unit and connecting with friends. And summertime, baby, you know, it's that time. And it's important for the heart. It's important for the abundance building. It's important for just society as a whole to connect with each other. You know, it's important that we connect versus sit there and fight. And when we connect instead of fighting and all this other stuff and just pushing people away and, oh, you're this and you're that and, oh, I believe in this and you believe in that and you believe in this and we in this and that and that and this and that and that. I think we're all the same. Like, we all believe in something. We all got blood. We all got this different skin tone. We got hairs growing out of head. And if you bald, you got hairs growing somewhere. You know what I mean? And, you know, we're all part of this, you know? So it's good to come together. And when you come together, you'll notice the abundance is there. The inheritance is there. That's the real inheritance. Inheriting the earth, inheriting love, inheriting peace, inheriting understanding that we can be unified. Unification is the answer. It always was and it always will be. In life and death, you get the gist. So, justice will be served at the end of the day. You know, however you choose to flow in these next couple of days, you shall see. But the damage is done. You must pay the price for whatever you've done. Always. You will deserve a life of what you deserve. So, what are you going to do these next couple of days? Hopefully it's connecting with your family, connecting with your friends, and noticing that you don't have to work so hard for a career that you've already built. It was built the day that you were born. All you really have to do is live it and encourage yourself to live it and keep living it. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all I got for you guys and ladies, goddesses and gods, you know the gist. Again, my name is Ampu Moon. You can follow me on Instagram. It should be down below. Ampu Moon. It's the same thing. ANPUMOON. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe if you made it this far, and I appreciate it that you made it this far. Also hit that notification bell because I send the messages out and I just want people to come and view the videos, get the messages. But like, it's getting kind of annoying having to send that every time, and I'm sure you're annoyed. You're like, oh man, this man be saying this shit all the time. I ain't subscribed to this. Oh, but I'm also gonna be creating an email list and a phone text message list. That's in the works. You know, creating my world still. It's doing what I'm doing, creating a foundation. So it is what it is. Thank you again, and stay tuned. My job is trucking, so I go out of town frequently. My second job is trucking. I also work at a Vietnamese restaurant. Vietnamese, I don't pronounce that. So like when I'm here in Georgia, Atlanta, like I'll be here. But I'm leaving on the 4th. I'm supposed to leaving like tomorrow, but it'll probably be Wednesday. Who knows? I'm not really sure. But that being said, there has to be videos dropped, and I may skip that next week just because I like to have breaks too, you know. Shit, I be always working and doing that shit. It's time for me to relax, and still working. Literally. That being said, peace. Y'all be safe out here.